Hi there, how you going? This little story is dedicated to my brother because he asked me to tell this story, and it's one from my trip, one of my ashram trips into India, and it's a great little story. It's got a nice little message at the end. Basically, I went to an ashram for quite a long period of time doing yoga and meditation, and it was in the deep dark forests of India. It was run by monks. It was the timetable was pretty hectic, from an exhaustion, and what you had to do. You were sort of woken up just before 4 a.m. in the morning to a big gong. You were sleeping in a concrete kind of like room, with tiny little mattress, and and you had to walk and navigate down through the forest in the morning just by torchlight and things like that, going through the forest, and end up meditating for about an hour and a half in the morning, and then there was a small break, and then you do yoga for like 90 minutes, and then there would be some learning, and then you'd be doing yoga again, and then you'd be doing meditation again. And you were doing 2 or 3 sessions of yoga and meditation a day. There was I think it was like one major meal in the afternoon that you would have, and you would sit on the floor, and they would come past with a like a bucket of whatever the meal was, and you would only, it was a kind of a beautiful experience because you had to really be conscious about what you were eating, and you were only supposed to take as much food as it was to just fill you up and to feel satiety. And so there was so much learning in this ashram from the meditation experience. I got like thousands of stories from it, and the yoga experience, and how healthy and vibrant it felt, to how calm it was. But there was one thing that we were doing in the ashram, which was you had to do selfless service. You had to give back to the ashram while you were staying there, which meant that you were given a job to do. And so some people were part of the cooking and made food, and some people were sort of sweeping and cleaning up, and I got given to clean the toilet. And the toilet is not in an Indian ashram. The toilet area is not the greatest. I don't know if you've ever been to India, but it's like basically a pit. There was two toilets next to each other, and there's just like room for your feet, and then there's a hole. So they're sort of ceramic kind of foot areas, and then there's just a big hole, right? So 2 of them. And the monk was given out the jobs, and I got given the job to clean the toilets, which was like confronting. And, so got given this job, and hated the job, of course, it was probably the worst job there, but got given the job. And, there was a process there where I sort of hated the experience of having been given that job. But I remember going and requesting a different job with the monk, and the monk said, "No, that's your job. That's your job." And everyone else was getting a different job, but I got stuck with that one. And I was like, "Wow, why is he giving me this?" And he kept on giving me the same job allocation of cleaning these toilets, and it was, I was wondering, like, why is this happening? Like, why is he giving me this job? And does he have something against me? Is it, and of course it wasn't that at all. It was just, I had the most probably to learn was probably the reason. And so, yeah, I requested to swap the job, and he said, no. He's like, but what he said next was, you need to like find a way of doing your best in this job. Find your way of mindfully like doing it with pride and doing it with, love. Like do it with your best efforts. And it's like, wow, okay. Because I was doing it the way I did it before. It was like fast and just get it done and I'm done, you know. That's the way I was doing it because I hated it and I didn't want to do it, and I did it quickly and those sort of things. And so without any attention, so I did. And then it was quite an amazing experience, because what I did was I shifted my entire head and heart into, I'm going to make this shine. I'm going to make this area mine, and I'm going to make it really, really good. And so I was there with my toothbrush and like cleaning around the edges, and I made that toilet glisten. It was, you know, for what you could, like in the ground and stuff like that. But I really took pride in it, and then, you know, was proud of it, and then, you know, would. And so the next day I was like, yeah, like, and really taking a personal interest in maintaining that quality as part of that job. And anyway, I went to the monk, and I said, you know, have you seen the toilets? Have you seen the toilet? Like, they are next level. Like, I've transformed the toilets. And he's gone, and he basically like hit me and said, didn't hit me, but he basically said, Jason, it's like, now you're looking for your ego to be seen, and you're looking, just do it for your own self. Don't look to now be acknowledged. Don't look for now people to come and go, wow, Jason, this is incredible. You've transformed this. Just you be happy that you're doing it for you, and that be in the moment and do it with that intention of just as a mindfulness activity. And then that's all it needs to be. You're just living it in the moment, and it is there. You don't need to be recognized for it and acknowledged for it and have a party thrown for you and a medal that you want for the acknowledgement of this. So it was funny, like that one little job, I managed to get 2 really big lessons out of, which is the obvious ones, which I've just sort of talked into, about being mindful, taking personal pride in something, and really, you know, and you can do it in everything. It's something that I've really taken on, and I don't do it all the time, but I'm reminded of that monk and what he said in that moment, because, you know, I might be doing the dishes and shitty about doing the dishes, but then all of a sudden it'll flick in and be like, right, just take pride in it. Like, take your moment, be present with this and do the best job you can. And be conscious in it. And then at the end of that, don't look around for everybody to go, thank you for doing the dishes, you know. So there's 2 elements to it, which I found was great. But yeah, I think I got stuck with that job for the majority of the time, but I definitely shifted my entire perspective around it, and it was probably one of the greatest lessons I got. So there's my India toilet story. Brett, that's for you. There you go. Thanks.